Hey, so I've been working on something and I'm remembering a time when I said that I'm determined to be an example of what's possible. What did I mean by that? I meant that as I go through life, I encounter a lot of challenges. And sometimes when you're in the trenches of the challenges that you face, it can seem impossible. There's some things that we see over and over again, like my mother passed when she was 63 years old. Probably when I was about 20 when she was diagnosed with lupus, which was she had systemic lupus, which meant it affected her organs, and she had discoid lupus, which affected her skin. And they said that there was no cure for it. So in my lifetime, I've seen my grandmother had that same fate. It's been, maybe in their late 40s, they get sick at some point and then start going to the doctor. The doctor gives them medications. They give them one medication, it has side effects. So they add another medication onto it. Sometimes they'll adjust the medications because they have some problems somewhere along the way, but the medications they only treat the symptoms of what it is that they have. They don't cure what it is that they have. So, um, in this context, when I say I'm determined to be an example of what's possible, that's one of the things that I'm talking about. So, do I have health challenges? Sure do. But my determination to be an example of what's possible means overcoming those things and or not becoming a victim to those things. So I have my challenges. I struggle with depression. From a physical standpoint, I have an ankle injury and I have uh, arthritis. So that runs in my family, arthritis. But I have been a student of natural hygiene. And so I know how to reduce the symptoms of those things. If not, well, ankle, but like the arthritis, oh, and I'm pre-diabetic. I know how to resolve those things with lifestyle and with food as medicine. So that's one way. And that's part of what I'm sharing in Dance to a Different Drum Leadership Academy. Oh, I said it. That's what I have coming up. So I want to read this thing. Me and Chat are real tight. And so Chat wrote this poem for me earlier today. We were having this conversation about that line. I'm determined to be an example of what's possible. I know what it was. I was in a hair skincare challenge when I was talking to the content creator and saying that, because I'm older. How old am I? 62. And so, you know, I'm thinking I don't look 62. I look older, but I don't think I look quite that old. I haven't been taking care of myself quite as well as I could. So I can look better. So that's what I mean when I say I'm determined to be an example of what's possible for me, because I want to see it, but also of the things that I've learned I'm thinking let's pass that on. So let's see. Chat says that phrase, I'm determined to be an example of what's possible, feels like a core part of your story and your brand. It speaks to resilience, leadership, and vision all at once. It also connects beautifully to anyone who might be facing their own rough side of the mountain right now. So here's a short piece. It says an example of what's possible. I remember the moment clearly when I said, I'm determined to be an example of what's possible, not just for others, but for myself. In the seasons when I was climbing up the rough side of the mountain, but that commitment became my anchor. That's making me think about that song. I'm coming up on the rough side of the mountain. Yeah. I'm doing my best to make it in. Today, my work isn't about offering surface level change. It's about living proof. It's about walking the path, weathering the storms, finding the breakthroughs, and offering that hard earned wisdom back to the world. I am here as a reminder you can rise, you can heal, you can lead, you can transform. Not because someone told you it's possible, no, but because you see it in someone who's walked that road. And because deep down, you already know it's possible for you too. Yeah. So hopefully, if you come across this video and you hear those words, they resonate with you. So that's it. I wanted to share that thought. If you are here and you got this far, please like and subscribe.